Halo, berjumpa lagi dengan Kraking Analysis, a segment by Krakatoas Football Club aimed to analyze and predict footy matches this week. I am H, and always with our beloved analyst, Richard.
Hey, apa khabar?
Apa kabar, Richard? Okay, first, it might be one of the hardest times for us, especially some of us who live in Victoria. Hoping all of you can get through this time safely and always be healthy. Kita pasti bisa melewati ini semua. We have been experiencing a week of footy frenzy. We would like to provide you more previews for round 10 based on our analyst stuff and data calculation. For matches, we would like to discuss in this video starting with Adelaide Crows and Melbourne Demons. Richard, do you know that it frustrates me as a data analyst when we discuss about Adelaide? Their stats before last week's encounter with North Melbourne is quite convincing, but they can't just deliver the win. I don't know. So do you think Melbourne will prolong the consecutive losses the Crows have?
Look, I totally understand your frustration. Look, I've been tipping the Crows so often this year, expecting them to win, but they keep finding ways to lose games. Look, last week they lost to Tex Walker before the game. It didn't help, and North Melbourne were really on that day, so credit to them. I'm sure Tex will come back, and that'll give the Crows a big boost. But is he going to be enough to get them over the line? Look, I'm not sure. There's been a lot of heat poured on Melbourne this week, and their coach, Simon Goodwin, his career could be on the line in this game. So I think Melbourne will come into this fired up, and they've got a real advantage in their ruck with Max Gawn over Riley O'Brien. Max Gawn's been in outstanding form this year, and I expect he's in for a really big game. I think the Demons are losing Tom McDonald, but if they send Christian Petrarca up forward, that should be able to cover for him. At the same time, speaking of forwards, the Demons struggled to score last week, and the Crows back six is fairly solid. So, look, it might not be a great game on paper, but I think this will be a really close one.
Okay, so based on data, it's difficult to see Adelaide can pull something off after their losses last week against North Melbourne. Like, Melbourne have their dominance in almost all stats I'm looking into. But one thing that might give Adelaide opportunity is the Demons' high turnover ratio. So I think the Crows' winning chance in this match may hardly rely on how good or bad the overall Melbourne performance is. So, what's your call on this match?
Look, I think the Demons will get over the line in this one by 11 points.
Okay. So, and my algorithm calculates 55.2% winning chance for Melbourne to win this match. The second match we would like to analyze is Collingwood versus Sydney. Richard, these two teams have the similar outcome last week. Both teams are also struggling with key player injuries. So, which team do you think could lift the Gabba with a win?
Well, the Swans are struggling so badly with injuries at the moment. They're sending Dane Rampe up there, and he's playing with a broken hand. Look, I don't know if he'll be so keen to play again this week. Got a strong feeling he will. And the games between these two sides tend to be really close in recent history, or throughout since the year 2000, really. And I think Collingwood have a great list coming into this match, but gee, they're really going to be up against it, I think. They're travelling from Perth to Brisbane within the space of four days. Even if they had all their stars back in their side, I think it would be really tough for them. And Tom Papley had a quiet day last week against St Kilda. I expect him to bounce back with a few goals and reassert his lead on the Coleman medal race.
So my data says that Collingwood might be a favorite in here because most key stats, such as 1%ers, tackle, kicks, and turnovers, are in favor of them. Collingwood challenges might be about their efficiency inside 50s, which was the worst among all teams last week. Furthermore, the limitation of my algorithm is that I am not calculating the Pies travel distance from Perth to Brisbane. If we consider it as a factor, it might give a significant fitness advantage for Sydney. So, which team do you think will win this match?
I think Collingwood's too good to get blown out here, whether they're tied or not. But I think Sydney will win this by 3 points.
Okay. And my algorithm says 72.8% probability for Collingwood to win this match, which might be shortened if travel distance is being calculated. Gold Coast Suns will host St Kilda in the Metricon on Thursday. Richard, St Kilda's current form is incredible. They are third in the ladder, above Premiership favorites such as West Coast Eagles or Richmond. Facing a team with lots of young guns like Gold Coast, do you think the Saints could extend their winning form?
Well, I think they can. And if you're a Saints fan, you'd be flying. They've knocked off Adelaide, Port Adelaide, Sydney over the past 3 weeks. They haven't beaten those teams in about 5 to 10 years. So St Kilda fans should be really enjoying their form at the moment. They look great under Radden. They're brilliant around the stoppages. They're the highest scoring team around the stoppages. Coming up against the Suns, look, they've always just gotten over the line against the Suns by less than a goal. And I think this one will be pretty similar. I think it will be really close. Look, the Suns were extremely flat last week, and Stuart Dew is going to put the blowtorch on his players. They've got an advantage, I think, playing at Metricon Stadium. I think Isaac Rankin, Alex Sexton, both of them are going to fire. And David Swallow is starting to get back to his original best. Tuke Miller and Lockie Weller, they haven't let us down all year. So, look, I think the Saints might have a bit of a letdown this week. I think the Suns are a real red-hot chance here.
Okay. Sorry, but my data is quite certain on this one. Like the St Kilda has better percentages in most of 29 variables I put as factors. The Suns might need to focus on their hit-out advantages in building their gameplay, but in overall, the data is not convincing enough to give Gold Coast any competitive advantage towards St Kilda. So, what's your call?
I'm gonna go with the Suns 8. Just by 1 point. I think this will be very tight.
Wow, it's a hard call, man. And my algorithm says 82.1% winning chance for St Kilda. Okay, and last one, the Friday night footy special is between Essendon and GWS Giants. Both teams have 3-2 record in their last 5 matches this season. They also have similar points in the ladder, with Essendon still have 1 game in hand. What's your analysis on this one?
I've got to be careful here because I'm very bullish on the Bombers' chances for this game.
You're so biased.
I am so biased. I can't help it. But it actually makes me not want to talk their chances up too much because I'm worried that they're going to get blown out. But look, the Giants, they're missing Toby Green. They're missing Matty DeBoer. I don't think the Giants are that good, and I don't think Essendon is as bad as they showed last week. Look, they'll get Sean McKernan back. So their forward line will have a bit more structure and stability to it. And they should be able, more importantly, they should be able to kick more goals. From what I've seen of the Giants this year, to be honest, I think they're pretty average, and this is a real dangerous game for them. I think the Bombers are in for a real chance. I think they'll have the upper hand in the midfield with Zach Merritt and Dylan Shield running through. Without their tag and Matt DeBoer, I mean, look, yeah, they've got Josh Kelly and Lockie Whitfield and, of course, Himmelberg up forward. But they rely on those guys too much. Look, I'm giving my team a real strong chance here.
Okay, so, yeah, I do it quite differently. Like, my data always shows a similar pattern with Essendon, but I think in here also have a similar pattern with Gold Coast versus St Kilda match, with most factors are in favor of GWS Giants right now. Only 2 essential factors, the Bombers have better percentages, hitouts and center clearance. But another thing that we need to consider is Essendon's more days of rest, so they have two days more rest compared to GWS Giants, which might be a critical factor, I think, in this footy frenzy. So, Richard, what's your call?
I'm going with the Bombers, and I think they'll do it pretty comfortably by 20 points.
Okay, let's see. And my algorithm says 81.7% winning chance for GWS Giants. Pertandingan ronde ke-10 akan meneruskan rangkaian pertandingan selama 20 hari tanpa henti. 4 pertandingan menjadi fokus analisis dalam video ini. Pertama, laga antara Adelaide Crows dan Melbourne Demons. Sulit untuk melihat Adelaide dapat memutus rantai kekalahannya melawan Melbourne, mengingat buruknya kualitas dan performa tim yang ditunjukkan di laga sebelumnya. Pertandingan kedua mempertemukan Collingwood dan Sydney. Meskipun Collingwood difavoritkan, mereka harus menempuh jarak yang sangat jauh dari Perth ke Brisbane yang akan mempersempit waktu recovery atau waktu pemulihan mereka. Situasi ini akan memberikan keuntungan bagi Sydney Swans. Laga ketiga antara Gold Coast Suns dan St Kilda akan menarik untuk diikuti, mengingat permainan kedua tim yang mengandalkan kecepatan para pemainnya. Analis menjagokan Gold Coast Suns dalam pertandingan ini, namun data statistik lebih menguntungkan St Kilda. Essendon Bombers dan GWS Giants akan menutup rangkaian pertandingan ronde ke-10. GWS Giants sedang dalam performa terbaiknya saat ini, sehingga lebih diunggulkan untuk menang. Namun analis mengunggulkan Essendon berdasarkan faktor-faktor lain yang dapat mengunggulkan mereka. Bagaimana prediksi teman-teman? Tim mana yang siap memberikan kejutan di ronde ke-10 ini? Tuliskan komentar kalian di bawah. Terima kasih dan sampai jumpa di Kraking Analysis selanjutnya.
Sampai jumpa.
Sampai jumpa.